I saw an angel. I know it sounds crazy, especially from me, but I just don't know what else to call it. It was terrifying. If I wasn't alone, I probably would have ran. But something about the intimacy of being alone with this behemoth, it allowed me to part with that instinct to stay alive. So I stayed a little longer than I probably should have. I saw it on campus. It was almost 3 a.m. I couldn't sleep, so I went for a walk. My therapist said it would help break the cycle, but I don't think this is what she meant to happen. I've been standing here for what feels like hours, just staring at it. The sun should have risen by now, if time is still passing, if it allows me to pass with it. It's kind of beautiful, in its own way. The angel. I don't think it has anything to do with the particular religion, really. Angels. I used to think they were just projections of the parts of human consciousness that we didn't want to or couldn't process, so we transplanted them into figments of beings, fractured emotions and thoughts stitched together to create angels. It's cruel, really. Aggression, lust, fear, pressed into one being. Maybe that's why they're so hard to look at. Now that I think about it, I've seen it before. On the train ride home, reflected in the window. The train was stopped in Anaheim because of an accident ahead of us on the tracks. I never found out what happened exactly. I never cared enough to ask or look it up. I regret that now. By the way the conductor announced it, it sounded bad. I remember clocking the tremble in his voice. And yet, I didn't give it the time of day. I don't know why I didn't. I just let it pass me by. I saw it again in Michigan, more recently. It wasn't supposed to snow, but it did, unyieldingly. Stayed around 20 degrees outside that entire weekend. On the car ride to the airport, we hit black ice for a moment. I thought it was the end. We were hurtling toward train tracks. And unlike the unlucky people in Anaheim, my dad was able to regain control of the rental car. But I saw it again. The angel. Only for like the flash of a second, but I remember it now so vividly. How could I forget? This angel is old news to me, and yet I approached it here as if I was puzzled by its existence. Why did I let this magnificent abnormality just fade into the mundane? I don't want to leave it now. I mean, it doesn't seem to mind the company. I just fear that if I let it out of my sight again, it'll disappear. And I'll forget. I will have gained no knowledge, no insight into what it really is, what it means. I call it an angel, but that's a hopeful label. It assumes that I know anything about its past or its present. The noise. It had always been in the background. I had gotten used to it, so I didn't really hear it before, but now I'm listening. Feels like a mistake to listen. I keep trying to get a read on it, to trance out any kind of emotion or feeling that we might be able to share. The closest I can get is an ache, a longing. Maybe it's lonely. I can relate with that. I began to feel the cold again, and remembered I needed to finish a paper in the morning. I'm useless when I'm tired, so I left. I didn't say goodbye. I didn't realize I might never see it again. The noise has gone away, but the ache stays with me. I wish I could have stayed just a little longer in its light, in the presence of the past. That chance doesn't come around very often.